Hi guys, it's Rike and welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Rike and I review a lot of activewear. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you just keep watching. Today I have an Amen review for you. It's been a while since I bought something from Amen. This time I have silver on my big package here. Like this is a massive, massive package, big delivery. But yeah, the Amen is written on there in silver. I hadn't seen that before. That seems to be new. But yes. Amen is a Swedish activewear brand. They do have some stores in Sweden, but also I think in Oslo now, Norway, and they also do have one in New Zealand. But they do ship worldwide, so you can also ship. You can buy from them, and it gets shipped worldwide. They do have different pages for different countries. Within the EU, it gets shipped from the EU, so you don't pay any import fees, which is nice for us Europeans. But they also do have a warehouse in New Zealand, and they do have one in the US, I believe, as well. So yeah, lots of no import fees for a lot of people, which is great. They always do have a lot of like neutral colors. So if you're a neutral color person, you will love their stuff. But they also do have little pops of colors here and there, which I personally love. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. And they do make a lot of classic silhouettes, a lot of classic pieces, a lot of like, like good basics that you can wear the out basically. And their stuff is, I find it to be always high quality. And yes, it is not the cheapest, but for me, it's worth it. Because yeah, I have had some of their pieces for so long and they've held up great. They're probably most known for their seamless stuff. Their ribbed seamless is kind of like one of their most original pieces, basically. And then recently they've launched also shape seamless, which a lot of people liked. And yeah, my whole Amen playlist is linked up here, so you can go check that out if you're looking for something specific or if you just want to see what else they have, because I've definitely reviewed them quite a lot of times because yeah, I used to live in a city with a store in Sweden, so that was nice. Now I have to order. Before I just walked in there. New release, I'm gonna be there. So yeah. Anyway, it's a big package. So I decided to split this up. There'll be a second video. But we can rip this open and see some of the pieces that are inside. Okay, it's a lot. So I've already made a decision on what I'm going to show you today, and I'm going to keep it a little cohesive for this one. And then the next video is just going to be a lot of different things thrown in together. So, don't mind that too much. It's just how I've decided to split this up. And we have 4, let's say 3.5 pieces today, and then the rest is 6 pieces or something. You'll see next week. Yes, so I am going to show you some new things in the Shape Seamless line today. That one has been, as I already mentioned, a big new favorite for people, and they've launched a lot of fun colors in Shape Seamless. And this is another fun color, but if you're into the neutrals, like I said, there's so many neutrals to pick from. They have gray, they have black, they have light beige, light clay, which is a little bit of also light beige. There's chocolate, there's macchiato. The most recent launch was the Shape Seamless macchiato launch. Macchiato chocolate, exactly, chocolate. See, too many things, which is a dark brown. So if you're into that, you can go for that too. And I think it matches very well with the color I'm going to show you today. But first up, I wanted to show you the half piece, because I'm not going to show that on, so I'm just going to show you what I got. So I always like their invisible thongs. And this is the ones in black, because someone asked for squat tests with black underwear. So I was like, I actually do not have any black underwear anymore, because yeah, I don't wear it as often because I know how see-through a lot of stuff is. And I usually go for colors or for just nude, basically. So I do have a lot of their nude invisible thongs. And they always come in a 3-pack, and yeah, I've worn these so many times, but they also do have black, so I got the black ones. And I do get them in small, but the first wear, they're a little tighter, but after you wash and wear them for just once or twice, basically, they are a perfect fit, because they do stretch out a little bit. So that's why I don't like to go for the medium. I've tried that once, and they're just very loose. So if you ever try them, just do trust that, after the second time, basically, they're going to be perfect. But yeah, so these are the invisible thongs, 3-pack, and this is the black color. I can also just quickly show you how they do them. In case you're interested, because I like also that they just have like the seamless edges and they're truly kind of, but see how stretchy this is? So like it does stretch out a little bit. So you can see it's just a normal thong shape. We do have the little Amen logo there. And then in the back, it is a thong, basically made from 90% polyamide and 10% spandex. And they do have all these seamless edges. So on the inside, you can kind of see it's like a seamless like edge basically, and just fold it over. And this way there's not any, like this is not moving, right? Because you do have those seamless edges everywhere. So they do stay put, they lay flat against the skin. Because I also do have a lot of like nude, like seamless underwear from Aerie, for example, but that one doesn't have those seamless edges. It's really just seamless and there's nothing there, nothing to fortify the edges. And then that can roll a little bit, which then again is visible under leggings and stuff. So these I prefer. These are kind of my favorite. They also do have, of course, like a little cotton layer here in the gusset. So it's not like just plastic against your skin, basically. But these are pretty good. So yeah, these are kind of my favorite, at least from the ones I tried. But anyway, now we can move on to the actual like activewear part. And I will start with the tops. I do have 2 tops and then I have the leggings. And first up, I want to introduce the color to you. So this color is called Tangerine. And they did launch a few different things in Tangerine. There was also a sports bra, because I'm going to show you the crossback bralette and not the little bra, simply because I prefer the fit of the bralette. But you have like a smaller bra, basically, like really just very minimal bra. You do have hot pants or short shorts. And I believe there was also like a longer tank or something. But anyway, I will show you the Shape Seamless Crossback Bralette. I do have this in 1 or 2 other colors. And I like this one. I like the fit of this one. I think it's very, very flattering. It gives a good cleavage, even for a small chest. It's pretty good. But you need to size down in this one. So I do have an extra small on this, and this is what fits me best. The small is too loose, so if you're in between sizes, for sure size down, and also if you have a small chest, size down. For a bigger chest, I feel like you could probably stay true to size, but if in doubt for this one, I would size down. But yeah, this is the Tangerine color. It is super bright, very intense. They did launch this a few weeks ago, so in the height of summer, which makes sense, right? But yeah, very, very orange, definitely leaning red, and yeah, I just love this one. The Shape Seamless material is made from 92% polyamide and 8% elastane, which is kind of what most of the seamless material is made of. But Shape Seamless has a different structure, different texture. It is super soft. So if you're looking for a very soft seamless, this could be it. We do have a nice V neckline here. You have removable cup pads, and then you do have thin straps that are not adjustable, but they're a little stretchy, and they do crisscross in the back, which is why it's called crossback bralette, right? I don't know why they call it bralette. It's like a very, very long line sports bra, or like a little crop top, basically. You do have this really wide ribbed band under the chest. It's super wide. So it's really kind of encompassing most of your torso. And then you also do have this little kind of detailing, rib detailing coming up here a little bit. And we do have a little tone silicone Amen logo here as well. But yeah, I do love the shape of this. I find it super flattering. And the color is super fun. So let's see it on. Okay, here's the little crop top. I'm just calling it a crop top. I know it's a bralette, but whatever. I'm calling this a crop top. Very deep V. But again, I find it very flattering for a small chest. You get like a good amount of cleavage. I'm tucked in, there's no gaping. We have the removable cup pads in here. And then, yeah, you can see like, this is not ripped. And then all the way down here, it's just ripped material. And it is definitely very long. So this is like a high-waisted pair of leggings. And you can see just a little sliver of skin in the front, and in the back, like even less basically. And here we also do have the crisscross straps. Again, they're not adjustable, but they do have some stretch in them. And honestly, I feel like the length for me is fine. Silicone logo here in the back as well. And then you also do have quite okay side boob coverage here on the side, so there's no complaints there either, support-wise. For me, this is like a light support, maybe even light to medium. Nah, but I would stick with light probably. And this part, somewhat more compressive. Also do keep in mind, this is an extra small, and I usually do wear a small here. So yes, I'm probably a little bit more compressed than if I had stuck with the small, but then this part would have been too big. And honestly, the little bit of compression is actually quite nice. So I have no complaints. And yeah, it is definitely very long. Like the normal sports bra, it looks very similar in the front, but then it's this short basically. It is this short. And the straps are a little bit different. They're also quite thin, but they're crisscross in the back, and then there's some extra strappiness happening, but definitely quite short lined. And then this is just really like a long part. I also did find the normal sports bra a little bit loose. So I do have that, or tried that in extra small, and this was still like a little bit big, which is why I do prefer this one anyway. And yeah, it just fits nicely. I like the deep V. Maybe not something I would reach for when I know I'm going to move around a lot, but I'm not really afraid of falling out or anything. It's just personal preference. I like to have a little bit more coverage, you know, for certain things. But overall, like, I feel like this is like really good, and it makes the boobs look good, and the material feels super nice. It's very soft, and they're stretching it, but also some compression now that I have it on. And yeah, let's move on. Okay, moving on to the other top I got. Now, this is one that I haven't tried yet. This also is in the tangerine color. And I do believe they launched this also in other colors already. But this is the Shape Seamless Zip Jacket. I do have a little zip jacket from Eamon in a different fabric that I really, really like. And now it's getting a little colder again, right? Well, not today. Today is actually quite warm. But like soon enough, it'll get a little colder again because autumn is around the corner. And then a little zip jacket could be kind of cute and nice to have. So let me just get the paper out. I haven't tried this particular one, but I was really curious, which is why I grabbed this one in the tangerine color because it's very fun. So we do have the same material. It feels like very kind of, you know, very stretchy. Look at that stretch, it's really good. It feels still lightweight enough, but I'm sure it'll still, you know, give you a layer of warmth when you need it. It has the little mock neck up top here. Then we do have the zipper with a little pull in the matching color, but there's no zipper barrage up top. And you also do have a zipper at the bottom. So it's kind of like you can zip it up and down and like in the middle and whatever. So, you know, it's kind of fun. We do have long sleeves here with thumb holes. So if you're a thumb hole lover, we do have thumb holes here. And then interesting enough, so this is a tight fitting jacket, right? I did get this in my normal size small. We'll see if that works. But at the bottom here, you also do have the ribbed material again. So this seems like it's, you know, ribbed. It's a little bit, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit more compressive, maybe not. I also do like that the ribbed part kind of comes up a little bit. So you have like this triangular shape here, which is kind of fun. And then in the back, it's also ribbed at the bottom. And then we do have that tone and tone silicone logo again. Yeah, so it's like interesting. I didn't notice when I looked at it on the website that there was this ribbed part to the bottoms, but I kind of think it's very interesting to see that, like, just that kind of, you know, it's a little detail that, yeah, I didn't notice on the pictures. To be fair, I didn't look that closely, but I didn't know that was there, and it kind of matches, of course, with the bralette, right? That also does have the ribbed part at the bottom of the top, basically. So yeah, it does match with that. But anyway, I'm curious to see this on. Let's do it. All right, here we have the jacket. I currently have it zipped up. Let me just zip it down all the way. Then you can see what it looks like open. There we go. Just reclipping the microphone, but yeah, here you can see it. It's definitely like more of a crop fit, right? Kind of. That's actually the length that I like because it's not going over my hips. For me, I find it more flattering if it is a crop fit like that, especially for a fitted jacket, because otherwise I have to, you know, size for something that fits here and then it's too wide in the back of the waist. But this is perfect. We have nice long sleeves with thumb holes here, and the sleeves are long enough for me to comfortably wear the thumb holes, which is also not always the case, but here it works. And we do have a little bit of a ribbed band here as well. If you don't want to wear the thumb holes, you can just easily, you know, have it like just scrunched up here, or fold this over, fold it inwards, whatever you want, and just have it, you know, just like this. So you don't have to wear them. Depends on your preference, depends on what you're doing, obviously, right? And yeah, we do have the double zipper. We have the mock neck here, and let me just zip this up for you again. It's always a little bit difficult with two zippers because you really need to get both in there. And then you can also see like the zipper can move a little bit if there's tension, but if you put it up somewhere and you lock it down, it is locked. So now it will not move. If I left it like this, it would definitely move down. I can show it to you again. There, it moves down. But if I put it up here and put it down, like it locks in place, which is nice. I like that type of feature. It's always good. You know, you can kind of decide if you want to show a little bit of cleavage, but there's always tension around the chest, obviously, right? Then it would slide down, but this way it is staying locked. So I think this is like a little sexy look. And of course, always bring it up higher, have a little bit more coverage here, or all the way up. I find this a little tight though around the neckline here. Like the mock neck, this is not, for me, this is a little tight here. So I don't know, I personally wouldn't wear it this high up, but I think around here also gives you plenty of coverage without like kind of making you feel like you're being strangled. I will also say there's a tad of tightness, like when I move like this, but I think it's also just like, it's not so, like actually, nah, maybe it's not so bad. But I would say if you have a bigger chest, I would highly recommend to size up for this one, just to have a little bit of extra space in this area, because this is definitely not the area with the most amount of space. And I don't have a big chest. So highly recommend that you, just kind of size up if you have a bigger chest. And honestly, sometimes I do size up for tighter fitting jackets because of the arm space, but I feel like there's plenty of space here. Let me just put that there. But like, there's definitely like plenty of stretch, plenty of space in the arms here. So that is perfectly fine. No need to size up for that one. So if you struggle with that, this actually works perfectly fine. There's lots of stretch in it, which I really appreciate. And then of course we do have that ribbed part here, which is actually super soft and doesn't feel too compressive, honestly. Feels very, very stretchy, comfy. Lengthwise, now that it's closed, you can also see it really matches. Now I have wearing the matching leggings, which you'll see in a second. But like that kind of like, it's just the jacket ends where the leggings start, kind of thing. So it is really like perfectly matched, which is nice if you want to wear this as a matching set, right? And of course we do have the other zipper here at the bottom, which you can bring up and close. And you can kind of wear it like this if you want it, just like a little open thing. Although I will say it's like a little flabby now, right? I don't think it was like this with the other one. But anyway, like you have the option to do that, to wear it kind of like that, open here, show a peak of skin, or if you're wearing like a shorter top, right? Like if I was wearing kind of the normal sports bra, you'd of course see more skin. So there's that, right? You can kind of mix and match and adjust and whatever. And yeah, I mean, the second zipper also stays in place. So depending on where you put it, I personally would probably still kind of wear it more like this, like show a little bit more cleavage, but like have it zipped all the way down here at the bottom. And then of course at the very bottom you do have, but see, this one's moving up a little bit. Why are you moving? There we go, all the way down now. Yeah, no, now maybe I didn't have it put all the way down. Again, because if you leave it up, right, like it can move. If you leave it down, technically it shouldn't be moving. But at the very bottom, we do have like a tighter knitted elastic, and not elastic, ribbed part. So this one fits a little bit tighter than with my other jackets. So there's a little bit more tension at the very bottom. So if you leave it slightly open at the bottom, it will start flaring out a little bit, I think. So I preferred it a little bit more on the other jacket, although this one is still very cute and I love the color. I think it's really fun. I also feel like the tangerine color you can easily pair with like maybe a blue or something, right? And then you don't have to wear like a full matching set of it, like if you don't want to. Might be a little bit much for some people. I don't know, not for me, but But anyway, cute little jacket. I like that you can kind of like, have like a full-on suit if you wanted to. It's very comfy, it's very stretchy. So no complaints here. And it's still lightweight enough that it doesn't feel like it's suffocating you, except for when you zip it all the way up. But it's still like, giving you a little bit of extra warmth, which today I honestly don't really need because the sun is coming in hot, but soon enough, it'll be a little bit chillier. But anyway, let's move on. Last but not least, of course, the crowning piece, the Shape Seamless tights. So with Eamon, all the leggings are called tights. So here we go. And Tangerine, of course. Now I have tried the Shape Seamless tights in a light pink, in a light green, which is called Matcha, and I love that color. In a light yellow, which was called Mellow Yellow. And there is definitely problems with the squat-proofness of those because those were all light pastel-y colors. So I'm really curious to see how it is with these ones because it's a darker color, but it is a neon color. And neon is also really hard to do squat-proof. So we'll see. These leggings are, you know, I expect them to fit the same as all the other ones that I've tried, all the other Shape Seamless. They're kind of very consistent in that, I would say. But let's take a look at them. So these are a size small. Usually with Eamon, I am a size small with leggings. With other brands, I'm kind of in between. So do check their size chart because it is also slightly different. I feel like it used to at least be slightly different than other brand size charts. And yeah, if you're in between, generally, I would say you could size down. So we do have this ribbed band. It definitely does have compression here. No front seam. And these are kind of seamless, right? And they're kind of, there's not a lot of detailing to them, which I actually like because sometimes I find it a little too much with underglute contour here. There's some more contouring there. There's something around your ankle and your calf and whatever. Like I find it just a little too much sometimes. So I do like that these are very, very simple in what's happening there. And then in the back, tone and tone silicone logo here. And we do have a V for the glutes, a proper seam in the back here. And now these are kind of scrunch leggings, but it's not like as obvious. It's not like your butthole scrunch. It's not really like this like elastic seam that you sometimes have, but like it's kind of, there's this little bit sewn in here on the inside. And this kind of just makes sure that things go in between the glutes a little bit more. So it's a different way of doing this kind of scrunch effect. It's a little bit less obvious, which is kind of why I like this a little bit more. And it still does stuff, you know, and the materials have super stretchy, so your butt has space and whatever. But yeah, you do basically have like this very, very, very invisible scrunch effect. And this is why they call it Shape Seamless, right? Because it shapes the glutes a little bit more. Yeah. Is the seam a little bit tighter? Yes. And of course, if you have a bigger glutes, you could probably get a little bit more separation if you sized up. But I like how the waistband fits me. So you always have to make some sacrifices. Right. Anyway, so these are the Shape Seamless tights now in the tangerine color. I actually was really curious how they match with this like very orange red that we got from Gymshark earlier this summer in the Whitney leggings. And I will just quickly go and grab that one so we can compare. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. So we do have our Shape Seamless here. And this is the Gymshark Tangerine. Well, it's not called Tangerine, right? It was called something else, but like the Gymshark color. So they are very close, although the Eamon one is a little bit more orange and this one is a little bit more dark, a little bit more muted, just a tad, just a wee bit. So there's a slight difference, but they're very similar colors. Because that's kind of what I was thinking. But it's usually like, you usually see that, right? There's a color that's trendy this summer or something like that. Multiple companies will be doing it. Like usually the Pantone colors of the year, the Pantone colors of the spring, summer, whatever. Kind of companies will orient themselves with that, basically. I also actually did a video about the summer colors of the year, an outfit video. I can link that up here so you can go check that out. But anyway, let's see these leggings on, shall we? Okay, last but not least, we have the leggings here. And honestly, they fit mainly the same. I feel like the fabric does have, this color has a tad less stretch maybe than some of the other colors. So I feel a little bit more tightness around here. Maybe that was just also my big lunch. Anyway, otherwise same fit as per usual. The tangerine color is definitely like super, super bright. We do have a high waist here and you have this wide ribbed waistband that is quite compressive, but like not uncomfortably so. And it goes down here too. So you do get some lower tummy compression as well. And it goes all the way around. We do have the V for the glutes here. And then that seam that goes a little bit more in between the cheeks than a normal glute seam would. Again, not exactly sure if you can really tell the difference, right? Because it's always hard to tell the difference if you don't have it like side by side with a normal pair of leggings. But like You don't see it's a scrunch, but I can definitely feel that there's a little bit more in between. And when you squat, you can feel the seam kind of pulling a little bit. And it also does pull the back part a little bit lower, but it's also high enough that it really doesn't make a difference. If you know what I mean, like it's definitely like super high-waisted and a little bit more in the back than it is in the front. So whenever you squat and the seam pulls this part down, it is actually not pulling it super low down. Like it's not dipping low or anything because it's kind of planned to be like that, if that makes sense. Yeah, otherwise a little bit shorter than a 7/8 length on me. The fabric, again, it's like super soft and there's not a lot of detailing going on here, right? We already talked about this. It is definitely like a very, very simple seamless legging, and this is kind of what I like about it. Because all I want is like a nice wide waistband, right? Some compression, V-glutes, glute detailing, and then a proper seam in the back. It doesn't even need to be like this type of seam that gets in the cheeks there, in between there. It's really just like a proper seam. That's all I want. But yeah, so you basically do have like everything you need, and that's kind of it. No under glute contouring, no other like detailing or anything. It is really just like very simple, but this is what makes it good. Yeah, let's move on. It's conclusion time. Here is the little pile of Tangerine and just the little black invisible thongs. Yes, so let me know how you like this color. Also compared to, you know, other colors you've seen, maybe the shape seamless stuff in. Like this is definitely, I think, the brightest they've done. A lot of the other ones were more pastel-y, but this is like very... And I also saw them kind of pair this with some of the nude colors. And I feel like with chocolate, maybe with a darker brown, that could work really well. So if you're into that kind of like brown, wearing brown tones, but you don't want to wear a full brown outfit, maybe you could like spice it out with some tangerine. You could have like a tangerine chocolate mixture, right? Maybe. But anyway, I think the shape seamless line is really, really interesting. I do love that crossback bralette. Like I love how, you know, it makes my chest look. It is comfortable to wear. I find it supportive enough, and it's just like a really like fun little piece. The leggings are also like actually usually pretty good. Like I said, the squat proofness can be an issue. So you need to like be aware of that and need to make underwear choices accordingly, basically. And the jacket was also really, really interesting. I do love that double zipper thing. Like I said, I already do have a jacket of theirs with double zippers, and I actually do like that quite a lot. Yeah. Let me know which piece was your favorite, if you've ever tried the shape seamless line, and if not, like what's holding you back, you know? Because they have colors and they have neutrals, so I feel like there's something for everyone. And even I, who was not like the biggest fan of seamless, I do like that seamless line. And I also do like their ripped seamless line. So like, I do like most of the seamless that they do. Not all of it, but most of it, honestly. Like, so if you're also skeptical about seamless, I highly suggest you try the Amen seamless stuff. Honestly, it's pretty good, even for seamless skeptical. Yeah, seamless skepticists, I guess. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel so you get notified about all the new videos that are coming out. You can follow me on Instagram, see me some of the pieces in action there and DM me there, but I'm more likely to see your comments here on YouTube. So if there's ever any feedback, any suggestions, anything you want to get off your chest, drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Yeah, that's it for me. And stay tuned for the next, for the rest of the Amen package, basically. Like I said, next week, you'll get to see it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!